morning. I'm Ben Lovell. I'm the chairman of the Todmorden Foundation, which is a mission-based company continuing the vision of William Bancroft. In addition, I am a great-grandson of William Bancroft, and we have 4 family members here today, and I would like them to stand up, please. So we've got Jan Clark over there, Caroline Cope, and Chenda Davison. 3 of us live in Wilmington. Caroline lives in Ithaca, and we think that, well, I'm pretty sure, William Bancroft would have been extremely proud at seeing what he had set up originally 100 years ago is being continued, and is being continued in such a good way. Today we're gathered to celebrate 2 things. One is the opening of the new buildings over here, and also to celebrate the groundbreaking of Phase 2. As you know, the Todmorden Foundation is fine, but these have always been known as the Woodlawn Flats, and I expect they will always be known as the Woodlawn Flats. And it's such a cornerstone of Wilmington and everything that the West Side stands for. By the mere fact that you're here, you have all played a part in this wonderful project, and I hope that you will enjoy the proceedings of today. We've got a busy program, and I would like to move straight on to the first speaker, and then we can move the program along, and then after that we will have the formal opening. So thanks very much. So our first speaker is Winthrop Watson, who is the president and CEO of the Federal Home Loan Bank of Pittsburgh. I'd actually been given a whole introduction to give him, but he's told me that it's not necessary. He'll do it himself. So thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Benjamin, and congratulations to everybody here. It's a very exciting day. What a beautiful building, and it's great to see the construction underway. There are a lot of speakers on the agenda, so I'll be brief. But you may wonder what somebody from the Federal Home Loan Bank of Pittsburgh is doing here in Delaware. We're a government-sponsored enterprise. There are 11 federal home loan banks around the country with designated states that we cover. We have Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Delaware. And our primary business is to lend to financial institutions to help their mortgage business and to help their communities and to provide their necessary liquidity. As part of that arrangement, we're required to use 10% of our net income for affordable housing. And this year, that's going to be over $30 million. So it's we're a major contributor. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're a major contributor to affordable housing. We work with members of the community to support housing, and we work through our member financial institutions. We're a cooperative. Financial institutions are our members, and in the case of Phase 1, we worked with WFS. We provided $500,000 for that project, and we're thrilled to be helping Phase 2 with a $500,000 grant, this time through Fulton. And you're welcome to apply for more grants for the next phases, and we hope they get accepted. So today is about partnership, building on the vision of Mr. Bancroft. Bringing revitalization and new energy and hope to Wilmington. We know it takes many partners, and we're privileged to be one of them. And with that, I'll say thank you again, and we can move on with the next speakers.
Thanks, Winthrop. Our next speaker is Susan Frank, who works with Sinair. She's also a colleague of ours and a good friend. So, thank you.
So thank you, Ben, and greetings to everybody here today. I mean, wow, what a great crowd. And we're known in Delaware, I think, for getting a lot of people out, but this really is a great crowd, and it shows how incredibly broad and deep the support for the Flats is, as well as the impact it's having on the community. I'm here representing Senair with a number of my colleagues. We are a nonprofit community development financial institution, and we are dedicated to the mission of affordable housing and community development. We have long and deep roots in Delaware and in Wilmington. We were created over 20 years ago as a bank consortium known as Delaware Community Investment Corporation. Today we're known as Senair, and we are very privileged to have been part of the Flats renovation from the very beginning. Jim Peffley's here. He was our market leader, and he was involved with Rod and Vernon and HDC in the very beginning, providing a pre-development loan that helped get the renovations going. Since that time, we have been a financial partner in both phases. We have brought in equity investors who purchased the low-income housing tax credits, which has provided equity to the project in both phases. We also brought in lending partners to help provide a permanent loan for the first phase. So through those three funds, 2 equity funds and 1 loan fund, Senair was able to bring over $18 million in private sector investment to the Flats. One other thing I wanted to mention is through those funds, we brought in 13 different local investors to be part of the Flats renovation. And that's really what the beauty of Senair is, that we can bring so many dedicated local financial institutions to be able to touch the project and be part of it. And many of them are here today. So we're their intermediary, but they deserve equal credit for all that they have done. I wanted to mention 2 quick things about the Flats that have struck me through my involvement. The first is just the incredible dedication of everybody on the team to the residents that either live here or who will live here. And I've been in meetings with the board and with the development team, et cetera, and the focus has always been, how are we impacting the current residents? Do we have the right amenities? Are we outreaching in an appropriate way to other residents who might want to live here? Do we have a way of reaching people who speak different languages? So it's been really a laser focus, and of course it should be, but I just wanted to mention that. And then the second thing is that this has been such a collaborative effort between government, the private sector, nonprofit sector, the residents. It's really difficult to do a renovation of hundreds of units, and this is a really big renovation for Delaware. As the NOS knows, we have only so many resources, and it's really taken everybody working together. And every time there's been a challenge, rather than kind of say we can't do this, the team has just consistently, whether it's the HDC Mid-Atlantic or Architectural Alliance, DeSabatino, everybody's just kind of dug in and said we're going to figure out a way to make this work. So I'm really proud to be part of this. Senair is really proud to be part of this, to be partners with all of you, and we look forward to being your partner for the long term. Thank you.
Thanks, Susan. 100 years ago, William Bancroft started this project of building these flats. And then about 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, we wondered what the next step was going to be, renovation or starting over. So we went the starting over route, and we wondered who we were going to work with to help us be a developer to help us do this. And we were very, very fortunate to find HDC out of Lancaster, and we've had a really, really good working relationship with them, both on an executive level, but on a board level as well. And I'd like to introduce Mike Harper, who is the Chief Executive. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's great to be with you. I'm not nervous, but I am shivering, so I'm a little chilly on this lovely dry morning. We'll take the dry weather. HDC's a 45-year-old nonprofit developer, owner, manager of affordable housing, and we're very, very proud to be the management agent and developer for the Flats project. It's great to be with you today. You know, it was nearly 2 years ago when we stood here and broke ground on phase 1 with a lot of anticipation about what was to come, a transformation of William Bancroft's original vision into a modern vision of workforce housing for Wilmington's residents. I do want to take a moment and thank our financial partners. You could say it takes a village of financial partners to put these deals together, and I probably am not going to, I'm going to miss somebody, but Todd Morton Foundation, Woodlawn, Delaware State Housing Authority, Federal Home Loan Bank of Pittsburgh, City of Wilmington, Fulton Bank, WISPIS, and I'm sure more. So it shows the complexity at the front end of trying to get one of these communities off the ground. Our mission at HDC, our mission is to build hope and opportunity by providing a safe, affordable place to call home. And I think that's what we've done here. I'd especially like to thank and acknowledge the HDC Mid-Atlantic employees who have worked tirelessly on this project. And this morning I would ask all the HDC employees, if you would just raise your hands high, please, so everybody knows who you are. Let's thank them for their efforts. And last but certainly not least, I want to recognize our residents. That is what we're all about, is providing a home for these folks. I want to thank you for your patience during construction. I know it's always a waiting game, and also there's disruption when multiple phases are going on. But this is your community, your neighborhood, and your home. So thank you for letting us be a part of that. So we have 72 attractive, wonderful homes in phase 1 that you'll see around you. Phase 2 is well underway. We're very excited about progress we've made so far. And we look forward to a hopeful future because our work is not done. So thank you.
Thanks, Mike. The Woodlawn Flats are very much a part of the Wilmington community and are very much part of the west side of Wilmington. And if it weren't for the city, we wouldn't be able to do this project. So thank you, Wilmington, and I would like to introduce Hanifa Shabazz to come and speak to us, please.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is a beautiful crowd from this view. You know, it has been said by many observers that people don't really live in cities, they live in neighborhoods. In Wilmington, our vision for our city includes an abundance of healthy, complete neighborhoods that are diverse and include a mix of uses and amenities that strengthen the fabric and desirability of the neighborhood and encourage continued renewal and private reinvestment. Reinvesting in our aged neighborhoods address many issues, including foreclosure prevention, attracting young people and professionals to our city, improving home ownership rates, eliminating or repairing the blighted properties that drag down our neighborhoods, to be smarter about the way we commit public and private resources. But today we are gathered to break ground and celebrate how being smart about the way we commit public and private resources will revitalize the Woodlawn Flats neighborhood, bring more tax dollars to Wilmington, and more importantly, provide quality, affordable housing to working families. So on behalf of Wilmington City Council, I want to thank and commend Woodlawn trustees, the Todd Morton Foundation, HDC Mid-Atlantic, and the many partners who have committed their time, talents, and resources to this extensive project. Your efforts are not only redeveloping our aged neighborhoods, you're stabilizing a community and continuing a tradition of excellence in affordable housing as envisioned by William P. Bancroft. Today, we will be proud. And as I close, I want to leave you with the following quote from President Lyndon B. Johnson, who stated, "The American city should be a collection of communities where every member has a right to belong. It should be a place where every man feels safe on his streets and in the house of his friends. It should be a place where each individual's dignity and self-respect is strengthened by the respect and affection of his neighbors. This is what man sought by the dawn of civilization. It is what we seek today. This is what we see today. Thank you."
And of course, the city is also part of a state. So I would like to welcome next Helene Keeley, who is our state representative. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. As mentioned, Helene Keeley, I'm the state representative for the area. And I too want to thank the entire team, although I'm not 100% who the entire team is. I know several names were mentioned, but obviously without all of you working together and collaboratively, we would not be here today. So 2 years ago, we were here and we had the groundbreaking ceremony and I guess the tearing down ceremony of phase 1. And over the last 2 years, I've seen the progress. I literally live just down the Parkway in Union Park Gardens and pretty much drive up Bancroft Parkway every single day. And it was so exciting this past Christmas to see everyone's decorations out because you really knew that phase 1 was almost coming to a completion because people were living in here. And it just showed the pride and the joy of the residents and how excited they were to live in their new homes and in their new community. And the individuals that live here actually do make this community run. They're the individuals who work at Christiana Care. They work at some of the restaurants up and down Union Street. They support the restaurants and the corner stores up and down Union Street. They support Westside Health because they're their patients. And so this revitalization project is something that one was absolutely needed, but number two has reinforced the community feel that was always here in the Flats and will continue for the next 100 years. So to the trustees and to everyone that's part of the team, I just want to say thank you. And we have to stay diligent on this project. We still have many more phases to go. And there is some uncertainty on the federal level about housing dollars. And so from a state perspective, we need to stay on it, we need to stay diligent, we need to make sure that this president understands that the individuals who live in these types of housing developments are people who who actually drive our economy. So again, thank you all very much. Make sure I don't get hit in the eye by the flag, and have a good day. Thanks.
Thanks, Helene. One of our big partners has been the State Housing Authority, and we wouldn't have been able to do this whole project without their help. So I would like to welcome their director, Anas Ben Adi, and come talk to us, please. Thank you.
Good morning. Well, the governor told me to mention how much money we have in the deal, so $6.5 million, sir. Without counting the federal tax credit that came to us. So really, I was going to talk about all the funding that we have in this deal, but I thought I will tell you about George. And George is a gentleman who I met yesterday when I stopped by Safeway to grab a cup of coffee around 10 a.m. coming from Dover to Wilmington. And coming out to Safeway, George came to me and asked me if he can use my cell phone. So at first I was like, I don't know if I want a stranger using my cell phone. But then he looked in desperate need, and he also looked that if he ran away with my cell phone, I can catch him. So I decided to give him my cell phone. He used it. He was standing right by me. I couldn't help but listen in a little bit. The conversation was not going too well, but what I gathered is George was having some housing challenges. So I asked him at the end, he gave me the phone, thanked me, and I asked him if he was homeless. He said yes. I asked him if he called the centralized intake. He said he did, they were closed. So we got on the phone, the two of us, put him on speakerphone, and we called the centralized intake. And there was a lovely lady by the name of Cher, who within 3 minutes of talking to George, she found him a bed down in Milton, Delaware, at San Francisco homeless shelter, Casa San Francisco. And we hung up the phone, we called Melinda, who was the director of the shelter at Milton. And we got on the phone, she had some private questions for George, so I gave him the phone and stepped aside. He answered all the questions, and she said, yes, you have a bed as long as you can make it down here before the end of the day. George was so excited. He actually grabbed the phone, my phone, and he said, "Thank you." I kept my phone. I'm like, "Give me the phone back." And he had a car, which was great. He didn't have gas. We helped him with gas money. And I drove to come to my meeting here in Wilmington, actually with the Congresswoman. And on my way back to Dover, I thought of George called. I had the phone for Melinda, so I called her just to check on George. And I thanked her for all her help. I asked her if George made it down to the shelter, and she said yes. She said, "George is here. He was excited. He has a bed. He had light lunch with us. We gave him some fresh clothes. His clothes are being washed, and he's sitting in the porch enjoying the nice weather." And it hit me that how much satisfaction we get as human beings, and calm and tranquility and security from knowing that you have a safe place to stay. Doesn't matter if it's for a night, for a week, for months, for years. And that's really why we are here today. And it's for the 144 families that will have a safe, decent apartment at the end of the day. So I really want to thank everybody who has been involved. I want to single out Vernon. Where are you? Here you go. Vernon and Rodney, I admire your leadership and tenacity getting us to this point. I know it has been hard. And I joke about it, but it's serious. These guys have been point junking. Doesn't matter what funding they have been applying for, they will leave nothing on the table. And I want to thank you. Let's hear it for Vernon, because I know Rodney is not here with us today. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Anas. Next up is Alan Terrell, who is our, the chairman of the Woodlawn Trustees. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you all for coming today. I think Mr. Bancroft would welcome George here. Actually, Mr. Bancroft would probably not want to see all of you here. He was a very modest person, and over the years that he assembled the flats, he did it to make affordable housing for workers, because at that time there wasn't much housing available. Mr. Bancroft had a vision, and the vision was that if you put together houses in a community, you build a community. And now, 100 years later, we're embarking on that vision and carrying it out. And I thank all of you for what you're doing. Our next speaker, and I'm going to move on to the next speaker because I don't think you need to hear from me, but our next speaker has a background that really started when she was a caseworker for then Congressman Carper, and she was doing housing and another project for people in need. Her background, she had a master's degree in urban affairs and public policy from the University of Delaware. And she is going on to serve in the cabinets of 2 governors as the Secretary of Labor and as the Deputy Secretary for Health and Social Services. She has also done something that's quite unusual. She just ran for office once, won, and has now become Delaware's first female African-American representative in Congress. And I'd like next to introduce our representative, Lisa Blunt, Rochester.
Good morning. Good morning. This is such an exciting morning. It is incredible to be here. I actually was thinking about the last time I was on this piece of land, and it was during the campaign. Helene Keeley invited me out. It was a movie night right here on this green lawn, which was incredible. The neighbors came out, and people were just so kind and so generous and even nice to me, even though I was running for office. You know, they said, "That's okay, come on over." And it was just an incredible feeling. And so it's good to be here this morning. I am humbled and honored. And I'm excited because I think Susan Frank said it so well. This is really about partnership and vision. It's about partnership and vision. And that's what Delaware is all about. So part of what I'm trying to take to Washington is some of this feeling and this magic of partnership. I think Mike also said it takes a financial village to raise a neighborhood. And so this is a village as well. So I'm going to be very brief because it is chilly, but I had talking points. And as my staff knows, I never go off of my talking points. I just try to come from the heart. And before I came here this morning, I hearkened back to when my family first came to Delaware in 1969. We had come from public housing in Philadelphia. We lived in the projects, in the Champlain projects in Philadelphia. And when we got here to Delaware, because my dad got a job at the People's Settlement, I'll never forget, our first neighborhood was Alvin Park Apartments. And then my parents were able to borrow money from their parents to be able to buy a home. And it was the most incredible feeling as a child to be in your own house. I think a lot of people forget that housing is connected to so many things. It's connected to our ability to be healthy. It's connected to the ability for a kid to have a good night's sleep and then go to school and be productive in school. It's connected to our economy. The fact that people build the houses, that's giving them jobs. People are moving into houses. It's giving an electrician or a plumber or a painter a job. It's connected, and we are all connected. I want to just salute the people of this community because the West Side has always been, I mean, I see Lolita, I see so many good friends and family here, and it's always been a strong neighborhood. But this goes back to vision. And I think about the Bancroft family. Thank you so much for staying with it. The Todd Morgan Foundation, the Woodlawn trustees, all of you who are involved in this, because I looked and I saw the vision. Affordable housing, open space preservation, orderly, planned development. That's what this is really about. It's about all those three things. And so from we in Congress, and your former congressman who is now your governor, woo-hoo, who gets it, who understands and gets it. We are just excited. We congratulate you for the work that's been done. We're excited about what's about to happen, and we want to be your partner as well, and we'll be fighting for you in Washington. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Rochester. The next speaker is Rodney Lambert, our president of Woodlawn Trustees. Unfortunately, his father passed away yesterday, and I've ordered him not to be here. But I would like to take a moment to thank him and to thank the entire staff and the board of Woodlawn Trustees. Their commitment and their vision has made this happen. As I said earlier, I'm not going to talk a lot. I'm going to move on to the next speaker because I think we all want to hear from him, and that is our governor. Our governor has shown leadership ever since he started in Wilmington. He was a leader of his football team as the quarterback at St. Mark's, led them to the state title. He went to a college that I played against, and he was a leader there. An all Ivy quarterback. When he came to Delaware, he continued to be a leader, and he's led us through many, many important stages of Delaware's development. He was lieutenant governor for 8 years. He has been Secretary of Finance, and as you know, he was a 3-term elected to the House of Representatives. And the last time he won by a 2-to-1 margin. It's his leadership that we now look to and thank to help bring Delaware forward at this time. And I am thrilled to introduce Governor Carney. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alan went to that other school down there in Boston.
Harvard or something, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Last night, I was at the Delmarva Poultry Industry dinner in Salisbury. Booster Banquet, it was called. And I was one of the nearly 1,000 people who attended as a booster. And today I'm here as your governor and as a booster of the city of Wilmington and this really, really incredible project. I want to first thank Alan and the Woodlawn trustees and Todd Morden and all the folks on the board who have stuck to the vision of William Bancroft over 100 years. This neighborhood, the Flats, has been here for a long time. It's been a cornerstone of the West Side, as Representative Keeley described, for many, many years. We all know people who lived here, who grew up here, who are still in the neighborhood. First and foremost, this is about a community on the West Side, a strong community in our city. It's about the people who live there. It's about workforce housing. But to put a housing project together like this, as all the experts have described, it takes a big team and a big partnership. And as Congressman Blunt Rochester has said, that's what we do best here in the state of Delaware. I want to thank all the people who put the financing together, including the ANAS at the State Housing Authority with, what did you say, $6 million in tax credits from the state? 6.5 million. We are an enthusiastic partner in this project. I was lieutenant governor, as pointed out, for 8 years, and so I got some experience in groundbreakings and cutting ribbons. This is, I think, the first that's both. A ribbon cutting for phase 1 and a groundbreaking for phase 2. I understand the financing for phase 2 has been put together, and we're working on phase 3 and the other phases, and we look forward to putting all of those phases together to completely rebuild this and revitalize this section of our city. It should go without saying that as the city of Wilmington goes, so goes the state of Delaware. And when we, Hanifa, when we revitalize and bring back neighborhoods like this and strengthen neighborhoods across our city, we're strengthening our state. So I want to thank all the people under this tent and outside of the tent who have made this project possible. And I want to congratulate and thank the people who are going to live here. It's all our job now to make this housing project a community like it's always been in our state. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you, Governor. Both the Governor and Mike Carper have mentioned our tenants. And I see our tenants as our customers, as people who've always been with us, people who have been very, very loyal to this whole area. And I would like any past, present, or future tenants, please to stand or wave your hands so we can see who you are. You make this a great neighborhood, and you believe in us, and we thank you for that. I would like to introduce you to one of our new tenants in one of the new buildings, Chrysanda Childs. Thanks.
Good morning. I feel like a celebrity. Thank you. I wanted to first tell you what an honor it is to be asked to be here today. It's an honor to live here. This is my son, Derek, who I'm very proud of. And I actually lived down at 221 North Bancroft and rented already from Woodlawn for about 7 years. And Derek's dad passed away in 2014, and I became a single mom, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to live at Woodlawn and pay rent and everything now that I was a single mom. But I watched these being built, and it was so cool to watch the old go down, the new come up, but I never thought I'd be living here. And so I put in for it, and I was accepted, yay! And I was excited. Derek doesn't show a lot of emotion, as you can see. But anyway, I'm the one that's always blah, 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 blah. So I told him we got accepted, then I told him we got an apartment. I was lucky enough to get one of the 4 that has the garages. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's beautiful, it's bright, it's cheery. Just what I needed after our tragedy. So in 2016, we moved into one of the 4, like I said. Looks like a little townhouse, gorgeous, love it. And Mr. over here, who doesn't show any emotion, the day I told him I was going to meet and go to see it with Dana, I got a text from the bathroom that, oh, I don't feel good, can you come pick me up from school? And I'm thinking, no, not today, I'm going to see my new house. So it turned out that he was not sick. He was excited, and he wanted to see it too, but he didn't want to tell me that, okay? So I pick him up, and we're driving, and I'm saying, yeah, I really got to get to see the house. You know, but what was so important? I just wanted to see the house, that's all. So after Dana took me, I took Derek in, and he was just like, and he loves it. He loves to bring his friends over. He's very proud of it, like I say. It's a great place to live when you are on a fixed income and you're trying to raise a child and you don't want to live in a bad neighborhood. You have all the amenities that you could possibly want. They put in grab bars for me because I have disabilities, and I just couldn't be happier. And for whoever did this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So does Derek, by the way. Thank you, Vernon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Donna. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Chrissy. Obviously a good place to live. And I'm very pleased that we can provide good places to live, and I hope we can provide a lot more in the future. At the moment, I'm supposed to be introducing the mayor, who is, oh. You see, I don't know who you are. You give me this look of, anyway, so I was going to sort of wing it, but I'm glad I don't have to wing it. Mike Buzicki, thank you.
I'm used to not being recognized in Elkton, but around here, generally people know who I am. Wow, you guys are ahead of schedule. You know, I told them I had to be a little late, and I came sprinting in here. Thank God I didn't sprint a little bit more slowly. So I can see I'm at the end of the program. I'll keep my remarks to 20 or 25 minutes. Johnny, Anas, and Aoife, how are you all? I have to tell you, when you hear me talk about our city, I have one overriding theme, and that is the success of our city depends on building our neighborhoods and strengthening our neighbors. I mean, that's the moral imperative. That's what we've got to do in our city. And I will tell you that there's some people that just do it better than others. In Woodlawn, you guys do it so well. I can't tell you what a pleasure it is when you go by and you see these projects being built at a level that you know is going to look the same way in 100 years. I mean, and that just doesn't happen. We have too many projects that you go back 10 years later and you've got stuff that's blown off and chipping off and it just looks like the dickens, and now you got to go back and fix it. And you see these places and you say they're just going to be here for a long, long time, being such a positive reflection on our city. I will tell you, it's a good time to mention that you know, we're a city that people are worried about a little bit, you know, and it's so good to have friends at our back. And my governor and friend for 100 years, John Carney, you know, is committed to the city as anybody. Lisa brought up here, our 2 senators here, our county executive lives here, and everybody's committed, and everybody has the back of our community. And I think as vital a partner as we have are the trustees of Woodlawn. And we just know that when they come in and say, we want to do something in your city, we are just comfortable that it's going to be exemplary. So my overriding impression today is gratitude. It's gratitude to John and to Lisa, Anas, all of you, Hanifa, for being such a great partner with our office, and all the folks who are going to make this city great. So thank you very much for having me here.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for your support. So just to wound up, so that you don't have to freeze anymore, there's some people I need to thank, and thank from the bottom of our hearts. We need to thank the Welfare Foundation. We need to thank the Laffy McFew Foundation, the Crystal Trust, the Rockford Woodlawn Foundation, the Nathan Clark Foundation, and I would like to really thank the board of our various, we've got 3 boards in this sort of Woodlawn umbrella. We've got Woodlawn, we've got the Todmorden board, and we've got the Rockford Woodlawn board. So thank you for all the hard work that you do to give the support so that we can move forward on this. Interesting that the mayor mentions the buildings and how well they're being built, and we need to thank the De Sabatinos for the amazing work that they've been doing to make sure this happens. I'd like to thank the caterers from the George Reed Middle School who've helped us over here. And last but really not least, we've got an amazing group of employees at Woodlawn and Todmorden, and some of them are standing round, so if the employees and the staff, if you could wave, and just so that we can see you. They do an amazing amount of work. They get called out at difficult times, and they really, really look after the buildings, and I know that that will continue for a long time. So that's the end of our formal part of this part of the day. We are now going to go over here, and I think we are going to actually open ribbon cut for the new buildings. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming, and come and join us over here.